So if you can keep where pollen goes, which is the nose, if you can keep that cleaned and washed, you significantly lower your chance of developing sinusitis and reactive allergenic rhinitis, which is just running of the nose. Hey everyone, this is Dr. Barrett. I'm a board-certified chiropractic physician with a passion and emphasis in functional nutrition. We can't wait to add value to your health as well as the health of your family. Thanks for listening in to the Real Health Podcast.
Hey, before we jump into today's episode, do me a favor. If you like this episode and you like hearing from Dr. B, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram. We're really trying to get this health movement out. So without further ado, let's get to today's episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 12 of the Real Health Podcast with Dr. B. There's a big day. We're in a new office, and we got a video.
That's big.
How about that?
What's up?
So welcome to episode 12. We are in the new location out in West Knoxville. You're calling it, what are you calling it?
Armor Health. And it's because we took over Armor Gym. So that was a business acquisition. And then we turned in an office space into a chiropractic wellness facility. So it's called Armor Gym and Armor Health. And so we just kept that name through the whole business.
And today's your second day of seeing patients here, correct?
It is. We're going to be cranking here in about 30 minutes.
It looks, this is awesome. This is so fantastic. If you have not been to Armor Gym out in West Knoxville, it is to the side of that. And it is a beautiful location. You got to definitely come and check it out. And then if you want to, you have a website too. Make sure we can direct people to that website. That's live, correct?
It is. It's armorhealthknox.com.
Cool.
Armorhealthknox.com. Hey, big thing for you. You started a new company.
I did. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I did. Yeah.
Tell our listeners about that. What are you doing?
I did. So I started, it's called SOAR Marketing. And so really it's going to take businesses' vision and their brand and tell their story. And it really, I've had a passion for brands and businesses and helping them with that. And, I have been fortunate that the Lord has placed some clients and businesses with my wife and I. This is a total team effort, my wife and I, and we're just so excited for the future. And, this is just one of those avenues where we can help turn what you have, your vision and what value you have, into something that people can have in the value in their life. And so I'm really excited for the future.
Well,
so
let me just tell the listeners this. This wouldn't be happening without you. I truly believe that. You were a catalyst. You heard a vision, but you also made it a reality. And so if you have a vision and you want a reality, like Lane's your guy. And I'd also tell you this, that we had a testimony this week that from listening to our Real Health Podcast female and male fertility series.
This is good. Yeah.
A couple that's been trying to get pregnant for over a year conceived after the first time listening to that podcast.
Let's go.
And following the strategy that
go.
we talked about, cycle mapping.
That's amazing.
Hey man, you're changing lives through the avenue of getting the heart of maybe a business owner or entrepreneur to the public. So, dude, kudos to you, man.
Wow.
So grateful for you.
I appreciate that. No, I do appreciate that. I'm excited for the future just because I have a heart for people, what they do, what their businesses are. People have such value to this world, and I just have a dream and a passion to help them grow that and be a part of that. It's just so cool. So that's so awesome. Let's roll into it.
Let's do it.
Episode 11 was the Real Health Expo. Amazing. That was awesome. Yeah. We had some really good content. We had some people hop on the show. First off, if you did that, thank you so much. We had a couple people that were a little hesitant to jump on, but everyone did fantastic. It was so cool to see that. And then I feel like, if you can't tell right now, I'm a little seasonally allergy right now. I'm a little nasally per se. Mm-hmm. And so what better fitting time to talk about, seasonal allergies, what are some remedies, what are 5 things that Dr. Barrett recommends that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a common thing we get right now, and it's no better time than to start investing in your sinus system and making sure that you're set up for spring for success. Especially in Knoxville, it's a valley of pollen. I mean, it's thick. Thick. So
I woke up, it's been a week. Dude, I was miserable. Like, I had a headache. I had just congestion. My eyes were itchy. And there's been a lot of, I've talked to, it's funny, I'll get on a phone call with someone and I'll be like, hey, just FYI, I'm not sick. I just have allergies. And they're like, oh my gosh, I have allergies too. And I think this is cool because it's like, okay, hey, maybe we should try this or maybe we should try that. So first off, why, you said we're in the valley. Why is Knoxville so bad? Or if you live in another area where allergies are bad, why are certain areas worse than most, if that makes sense?
Well, it really just depends upon, where you're at from an elevation standpoint, and if you're getting crosswinds and breezes to flush out your environment, right? So, there's trees pollinating everywhere, but there's also different trees. Like Florida's probably going to have more grass. Here you're going to have more trees and grass. And so the problem with Knoxville is it sits in a valley, so we don't get the big drafts to flush the air out. It just kind of sits in a cesspool of pollen.
That it does. It does.
So,
why is it? Why does it happen at once, all of a sudden, and everyone just feels miserable?
Well, I think it's because we don't go into spring healthy. So, like we talked about from an autoimmune series, allergies are more than just, there's a lot of pollen. Because there's people in Knoxville that don't have any allergies. So first off, you have to have a genetic tendency to more of what we call a Th2 immune response, which is more of an allergenic response. So there's a genetic correlation. Okay?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Again, it's my genes. That's
your
why.
Genes. Just blame it on that.
Jeez.
But that's the most minimal part of the equation. And then it's going into the spring. You have to have a healthy gut, a healthy immune system that's not overstimulated, right?
Well, I'm laughing because it just seems like it all goes back to that. If you've listened to the other episodes, it's like gut.
Yep, gut again. Pregnancy, gut. Hormones, gut.
Yep, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, when we get out of winter, a lot of times we weren't doing healthy habits. We were eating a bunch of sugar and stressed. So there's a little bit of just, hey, preemptive, we didn't do our job to set up our immune system successfully. But hey, even if you're there, we're going to talk through 5 strategies to improve overall immunity in relationship to allergies and how to combat the need for medication.
Do it. All right, let's roll into number 1.
So the first one, and probably the most impactful, is local honey or bee pollen. So my recommendation would be to find someone within roughly a 20-mile radius and get honey and take honey every day, if not twice a day. So local honey is really good at helping the immune system tolerate an allergenic response to pollen, because in essence, the bees are taking that pollen and then combining it with a bunch of enzymes and B vitamins that then your body almost microdoses itself with, but in a really healthy way that then makes you immune tolerant again to pollen externally. Even more potent than that is bee pollen. So bee pollen is the actual pollen that's rolled up in little balls. And when you take that in essence, you're exposing your gut to the external environment and setting your immune system up for success by, again, microdosing yourself with a external stimulus, pollen, in a low dose and in a healthy form. So just like when you rebuild, when we rebuild food reactions, so once you pull them off, then you slowly start microdosing those foods back in. You can build immune tolerance. In essence, you're doing the same thing with honey and bee pollen. So a lot of people are like, well, I can't give my children honey under the age of 1. And yeah, I understand the botulism issue there. It's really only in relationship to kids under 6 months. Err on the side of 1 year, that's fine. But bee pollen can be given. There's no botulism in that.
Is there a strategy to make certain that it's local honey? I mean,
you got to have a relationship with the farmer, and if you don't, then I wouldn't buy the stuff off the shelf that says local, because some of that is sourced from China, and it's just a local label slapped on it.
Okay, that's
actually
good. Okay.
Not some of it, a lot of it is.
Okay,
and so the best thing is if you can't find local, then there's a company called Beekeeper Naturals.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And
we've got some of that stuff before. Yeah,
and they sell the pollen. They sell throat spray. They sell propolis.
Yep.
And so that would be probably my next recommendation.
But it's not local to your area, though.
It isn't, but it still gives you the same immune benefits.
Okay.
Just without the local dose of pollen. So, but you're still going to benefit from a lot of the immune properties associated with honey and pollen.
If you see a yard sign in someone's yard that says local honey, that's probably good.
Yeah, I would swing in there and say, "Hey, man, how do you get your honey? How do you extract it? Do you use any chemicals?" And then let's go.
They don't get it from Amazon and resell it. Let's make sure they don't do that.
That's exactly right. It's actually happening. It's crazy.
All right,
that's the first one.
Number 2.
So the second one is what we talked about before in regards to colds and flus and viruses, and that's sinus irrigation. So if you can keep where pollen goes, which is the nose, if you can keep that cleaned and washed, you significantly lower your chance of developing sinusitis and reactive allergenic rhinitis, which is just running of the nose, swollen eyes. So the big thing there is sinus irrigation. So the classic neti pot sinus irrigation system is great. If you don't want to necessarily use like a neti pot, then you can use the Sinugator we talked about, Sinugator, and that's more the electric powered one.
Yep.
Or you can just use a nasal spray from Results RNA, which is like a colloidal silver based nasal spray.
Okay. Take a drink of that water, man. It's killing. Now the video is, now we're live. It's like you can have a drink of that water.
Kombucha.
I mean, you talked about getting tea from Japan, and one of these days we can have a live demonstration on the video. So
yeah, we can. No, that's straight kombucha.
There you go. That's sinus irrigation. That's an OG. That's episode 1.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, that's the OG episode number 1. So go back, make sure you listen to that one. So local honey, sinus wash, number 3.
Something that was termed probably more in COVID season. We heard this term.
Yep.
Quercetin.
Oh yeah.
So some people call it quercetin.
What's the funniest you've heard so far in the office?
Well, not in relationship to that. I think quercetin, but
quercetin.
But maybe
sounds like a Harry Potter.
Prostrate is my favorite. Prostrate, like there's an extra R instead of prostate. So that's probably the funniest one.
Okay.
Or the psoas they call psoas.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I can see it. It's okay. It's medical jargon, whatever. I get what you're saying. So it's psoas, it's prostate, and it's quercetin. Quercetin is a phenomenal antihistamine. It's a natural antihistamine. So actually the same company that makes that silver nasal spray, Results RNA, makes a quercetin spray for seasonal allergies. And that works really, really well because quercetin and vitamin C are 2 really good antioxidants and anti-inflammatories that will help combat histamine, lower histamine levels. And the higher your histamine levels, the more intolerant you are of seasonal pollen and seasonal allergies in general. So vitamin C and quercetin is really good at helping the body combat histamine production.
Are you going down 1 through 5 importance level? Or are these interchangeable?
No, probably not, because number 4 is nutrition. So that's that's like top of the list.
Okay, so let's go to number 4, nutrition.
Okay, yeah, nutrition. So hey, if you're looking to really make an impact on seasonal allergies, the big 5 we talked about this before: dairy, gluten, soy, corn, and vegetable oils. If removing those is all you did, that would make a huge impact. Now, that being said, you can take it a step further and you're like, hey, I've been doing those. Well, you can actually subscribe to a low histamine diet for about 90 days. So if you just Google high histamine foods, wine, for instance, is very high. That's why some people, when they drink wine, they feel very nasally and have difficulty sleeping because the amount of histamine in red wine. So high histamine food removing those can really help set up the body for success in seasonal allergy season.
So low histamine food diet. I mean, if you are having seasonal allergies and they've attacked you per se, is it too late to do that, or
No.
do you need? Okay.
3 days later, you'll see a change.
Oh wow.
It takes about 72 hours for the body to kind of clear out the foods that you just consumed. So,
Okay.
yeah, about 3 days.
Wow, that's good. Okay, I haven't heard that one before. Number 5.
Chiropractic care. Chiropractic care, you think, oh, well, that's just for people that are hurting. You know, they got headaches, go to a chiropractor. But when you adjust the upper cervical spine of the neck, it actually opens up your entire lymphatic channel of your head and neck region. So it allows your head and neck to drain. And one of the biggest issues with seasonal allergies is lymphatic drainage. We don't flush our lymphatic system, and particularly in the brain, head, and neck region. It's called the gliolymphatic channel that should be flushed at night. And if it pools, then that lymph, which is the clearance, it's the immune system's clearance of organisms and allergens. If it stays backed up, well, day after day after day after day, you're going to feel backed up in your eyes. Your eyes are going to be swollen. So
Yeah.
chiropractic care is amazing at helping seasonal allergies. Actually, for me, I had asthma and allergies all my life. And after a few months of chiropractic care, I was off my albuterol inhaler and off my allergy medication. So it did change my life. And again, it's not a one-size-fits-all, but it is a huge component. And even a 5A is chiropractic care, 5B. Any type of lymph support, right? So rebounding, exercise, jump roping is going to really help. Get on the trampoline is going to help your body flush the lymphatic system.
Okay, hold on a second, because I just heard that, and I've known some people that have said that. You know, this sounds crazy to some people. Jumping jacks, trampoline, like
Yeah.
that actually is effective.
Very effective. Just that G-force change, it literally helps drain the lymphatic system.
So if I'm sitting there at night and I'm rubbing my eyes, I'm miserable. I can't breathe. You're saying I could go and just jump for 10 seconds and something will help.
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
Probably a little longer. But yeah,
But in essence,
you nailed it.
okay,
Yep.
that's
And
incredible.
so just those little hops, boom, boom, that's all you need.
What if you have one of those vibration plates at your gym or something like that? Is that
Another-
good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it's for, is to drain that lymphatic channel and activate the nervous system.
Wow, that's so cool. Okay, so local honey, sinus wash, quercetin.
Yep.
I said it right. Low histamine foods and chiropractic care. Anything? I mean, those sound doable. Those sound easy versus going to get something that you could be on for the rest of your life with medication. I mean, let's just say, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, and right, those medications, antihistamines, have an effect on the body systemically. Right, they create sluggish energy, they disrupt sleep patterns. So you don't want to be on that forever.
Yeah.
Starting these strategies today, it may not help you immediately, but I promise you, it's a snowball effect. Continue through them, and you, season over season, see a change. This is true with my patients. The patients that have been under care the longest have the lowest ear infections, allergies, asthma. Their immune systems are stronger.
That's so good. And since our family has been under your chiropractic care, we have noticed a boost in our immunity as well. And so we are first-hand counts of that statement. It is absolutely so true. If someone wants to, if they're in that season right now and they want to come visit you and they want to either do some type of consultation with you and they're not from Knoxville, or how would you say to do that? Would they call your office? Like, how would you get them to get in touch with you?
The best way is 2 outlets. So either healthfactoryknoxville.com and just fill out a new submission for a new client submission.
Okay.
Or armorhealthknox.com and do the same thing.
Okay.
And so if you live more in the West Knoxville area or the South Knox area, you have 2 different options. And if you live out of town, just pick one and our team will call you regardless.
Absolutely. I'll put those 2 websites in the show notes So, you can go to those websites as well, because this new area out here is absolutely beautiful. The South Knoxville location is beautiful. And now it's wherever you live in Knoxville, there's probably a Health Factory or Armor Health within 10 to 15 minutes of you. So it's absolutely fantastic. Anything you want to leave listeners with today, or you want to wrap it up?
No, that's it, man. Just quick 5 strategies. Help those people, help everyone, help us, help myself with seasonal allergies.
Amazing. This was episode 12 of the Real Health Podcast with Dr. B. Thank you guys so much for the love, the support, the follows, the reposts on social media. It really does help, and we will see you next time.
Before you hit X, hold on 1 second. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the podcast today with Dr. B. 2 things that would really help the Real Health Podcast movement. 1, share it on your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, wherever you're on a social network. And 2, if you go to Apple Podcast and you scroll down, give us a 5-star rating and give us a review. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you next episode.